They escaped the wedding hall. But no one escapes a bride who hasn't finished her rituals. Rohit didn't remember how he crossed the gate. One moment, he was standing under the wedding mandip, holding the curse necklace. The next, he was lying on the cold road outside Devpur village, his clothes soaked in sweat, his throat burning from silent screams. Morning sunlight felt unreal. The Haveli was gone. No walls, no gates, no lights, just empty land and deep marks in sand, like something massive had been dragged away. Rohit staggered to his feet. Pooja, Samir, Neha, Vikram, gone. Their names echoed in his head, but the village remained silent. Even the birds refused to fly over that land. When Rohit returned to the city, people noticed something had changed. He stopped sleeping at night. Every time the clock crossed 12 a.m., his room grew colder. The air smelled faintly of incense and burning cloth. And then the dream started. In his dreams, Rohit stood inside the Haveli again. The wedding music played softly. Only now, the guests were facing him. All of them, with his friends' faces. Their eyes were hollow, their mouths stitched shut with red thread. And at the center, Ananya sat on the bride's throne, watching, waiting. On the third night, Rohit woke up screaming. There were footprints on the ceiling, bare feet, female, leading directly above his bed. He didn't tell anyone. He tried to convince himself it was guilt, trauma, hallucinations, until the invitation returned. This time, it wasn't outside his door. It was on his bed, the same red envelope. This time, already opened. Inside was a single line. Your presence is still required. That night, the lights in Rohit's apartment began flickering. Wedding music played faintly from his phone, though the phone was switched off. At exactly 12:12 a.m., the mirror in his room fogged up. A handprint appeared from the other side. Then a face. Ananya's face. Burn marks along her jaw. Cracks spreading across her skin like broken porcelain. You left before the rituals were complete, she whispered, her voice crawling inside his skull. I didn't want to, Rohit cried. I didn't know. She smiled. None of us knew. The mirror shattered. Rohit ran. He didn't stop until he reached Pooja's house. Her parents hadn't slept either. They showed him something. At exactly midnight every night, wedding bells rang from Pooja's locked bedroom. Her wedding bangles lay shattered on the floor, though she was never married. That same night, Samir's family reported blood seeping from the walls of his room, forming strange circular patterns, like wedding rituals drawn in blood. The Haveli wasn't gone. It had followed them, piece by piece. The next evening, Rohit received a call from an unknown number. A woman's voice spoke softly. Come back to Devpur, or the bride will start collecting. The call disconnected. That night, Neha's reflection disappeared from every mirror in her house. Her body walked, talked, ate, but she had no reflection. By midnight, she stood up suddenly, her eyes rolling back. She's calling us, she said in a voice that wasn't hers. At the same moment, all the lights went out across the neighborhood. Rohit knew the wedding was restarting. This time, it wasn't confined to the Haveli. It was spreading. Rohit returned to Devpur before sunrise. The Haveli stood there again, fully formed, waiting. Inside, the wedding hall was different now. Larger, Darker, more brides. Dozens of women sat in rows, dressed in red, their heads tilted unnaturally, necks bent like broken dolls. Ananya stood at the center. "The house feeds on witnesses," she said calmly, "but it survives on family." Rohit understood the truth too late. The curse didn't begin with Ananya. She was only the latest bride. The first bride still ruled, and she was awakening. The walls trembled. From beneath the mandip, something massive began to rise. A silhouette of a woman, taller than the pillars, her veil stitched with bones. The original bride, the Haveli's heart. Ananya stepped back. Even she was afraid. And Rohit realized episode 1 was the invitation. This was the